Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Bliss Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, Sabrina Daly and Paul Lopez.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And good morning, Paul.
Good
How you
morning,
doing?
Sab. I'm doing well. It is June 23rd, 2026. I'd like to say good morning to all our loyal viewers, audience out there, Belizeans far and wide, wherever you are. Thank you so much for starting your morning right with us. I do hope that you're having a fantastic and enjoyable morning. And if you're not, then I do pray that things turn around for you and things shift somewhere somehow. I know the weather is kind of overcast here in Belize City this morning.
It was raining in Boroboom when I left.
In fact, the rain came down by surprise last night, and then when I woke up this morning and I got out of the driveway, I realized that we also had some more rain clouds, and it caught us by surprise, but to a degree, it's kind of welcome because now you're having a balance of rain and heat. But altogether, it's a fantastic morning, and I do hope that you are enjoying your morning wherever you are.
I think the rain is also bringing in the flu season too. And I know there are arguments about you can't catch the flu from the rain, but I caught something, Paul, and I am fighting the flu bug. I'll tell you, I have my bets on who I caught it from in the office here. But I've been making up a concoction since the start of the week. And I think it's the village in me. I think my granny would be proud. My mom would be proud. Right now, I have in my cup over there spearmint tea bag, ginger tea bag. I also have lime, honey, cayenne pepper. Like, it's about to go. I need it to leave by week's end.
I'll tell you, it seems as if whatever you're doing a good job at it, and you're fighting
I'm fighting, guys.
You told me that you were a bit on the lower end, if you would,
over the weekend. Yeah, it was terrible.
So it seems as if you are doing a good job at fighting it. And
you know, I could breathe a little bit better last night in the newscast. I was struggling to breathe, but you know what, guys? We got to keep the show going, and so I am here this morning.
That's good.
I'm feeling a lot better, and I'm hoping to start my morning the right way as well, and that's, of course, with you guys. Let me jump into some of the conversations that we have lined up. And so we're going to go over here, and guys, we have an interesting conversation to look forward to, at least in our first conversation. It's all about the Ozempic conversation. We'll be looking at the benefits, the risks, and even some misconceptions as well. Also, we'll be talking about style with purpose. We'll be spotlighting Zenia Alonzo Designs and looking at what their work is all about. Then, what part you live? I could tell you where I live, but we'll be celebrating Belizean communities with Belikin. You would know that they have been on the couch with us, highlighting this promotion and also sharing how you guys can take part in the promotion of highlighting what part you live on Belikin bottles. Well, they'll be joining us back again and talking about some of the villages or communities that made the spotlight. I'll send things over to Paul now.
Awesome, Sabrina. I'm looking forward to those conversations. But guys, we got some things to talk about, right? So this is in our first segment where we talk about 5 things that you should know. And in our first conversation, it's all about the Meera family saga and the decision taken yesterday by PM Briceño to bench Minister Oscar Meera amidst the audit that is set to take place. So we're going to be talking about that. In our second conversation, it's all about climate resilient roads and whether they're worsening flooding in low-lying area it almost sounds like a contradiction, right? But there are some residents along the George Price Highway, just headed right outside of Belize City, that are saying the ministry is building roads, or contractors are building, drains that are higher than their property, and they're concerned about rains and flooding. And what the ministry says is these are climate resilient drains and roads, so is it going to lead to flooding in low-lying areas? In our third conversation, thousands of dollars missing from Louisiana government school. Money to go here, money to go there. Louisiana government school is now at the center of a Ministry of Education investigation. We confirmed that with the ministry yesterday, some missing funds, and so they're looking into that, and we'll be diving into that further. Now, this Friday is finally here, guys. Summerfest is coming up, and well, I see you have KTV on the screen. Gonna get to that shortly, but Summerfest is coming up this Friday in Dangriga. Remember, we had to postpone the show the last time. Well, it is back, and this time we are going to Dangriga. There you see the ad, Summerfest. And then we don't spoil the surprise, but yes, KTV is also back. KTV is coming up on June 30th, guys. This is the audition show that next week, Tuesday. The first of the shows, this will be the audition show, and so we want mark that one there down on the calendar, because I'm sure, definitely sure, you know, I missed that one. But what we are doing right now is we'll head over to the couch and we'll begin to have those important conversations. Sabrina?
Yes, Paul, thank you very much for that. You know, I'm looking at the comments right now, seeing people trickle in and saying their good mornings, and I had a little bit of chuckle because I noticed that, you know, we try to engage with you guys using our social media pages, and our producer is actually commenting personally and saying good morning. I imagine thinking that she's responding using the actual social media page.
Are you putting her
then
on
caught
notice?
herself. But it's really funny. Of course, you would know that the KTV, the GBM team here is so involved that sometimes we get even mixed up. But people, we know each other by name at this point. So
exactly.
Good morning to Samson. I see you locked in. I see Mish Hemsley. I see Michelle Samson saying, right mixture. Yes, girl, I'm trying to recover here using this concoction. This is what I was telling you about. Definitely burning going down, but I feel like it's helping as I'm sipping on it.
Yeah.
But I want to jump into the topics that you listed, Paul. I know that we mentioned our 5 things, but I really think we need to spend some time on the headline last night, which was really the biggest announcement that people were talking about throughout the course of yesterday. Minister Oscar Meera stepping aside after all of the chaos, the avalanche of information that has come forward yet again over the course of the weekend. I know that you were quite busy combing through these smart stream screenshots. I heard it's just about 600 of them. And, you know, I have to say much respect to you and the other members of the team that were involved over the course of the weekend. We got to really get a wider view of what took place in the last 5 years, and really the sum of it that has been benefited to the Meera family by extension. Looking at monies in the millions at this point. Paul, before we even get into the details, what do you make of all of everything that you've been covering so far at this point?
Well, you know, it's really a team effort when it came to this story. I really only got my feet wet with the story yesterday,
yeah.
Right? Our colleague Shane Williams has been following it up to the weekend, because it's 61 screenshots. Let's just be clear.
Yeah.
And when the 61 screenshots were sent to me over the weekend, I figured, well, I have to do something with this. I have to get ahead of the ball. And so, you know, they say, all right, well, we're in the age of AI. Why not just take the images and have AI work up something for you? Well, there's 2 problems with that. One is AI doesn't do well with images, especially blurred images, and it doesn't do well with numbers. And even if it does something with the numbers, you still have to go back and verify it. So what I did is essentially, of these 61 screenshots, each one of them has like 13 to 15 entries. So I had to go one by one by one by one pull them, extract each entry, right, and place them on a document until I reached to over 600 entries.
Wow.
So that took hours upon hours upon hours of looking at data, looking at invoice numbers, looking at dates, looking at payments made attached to these invoice numbers, hundreds of them. I mean, if I show you the document, it's incredible. You just keep scrolling and it keeps scrolling and it keeps scrolling. And so that took its time. I mean, at least 8 to 9 hours of just commitment to vetting the numbers, to extracting the numbers.
Yeah,
actually.
and analyzing it as well.
Well, then the analyzing part came, because after you have all these numbers on a piece of paper, you have to analyze it. Listen, I am tired. I am numbers burnt out.
Yeah.
There was a point when I was just on automatic. And this is just to explain the volume of information that was within these 61 screenshots. I was on automatic at one point that I didn't even realize that I was recording or extracting data from 5 screenshots that I had already extracted data from. So I was knee deep in the process. And then I usually do checks at some point just to make sure that I'm going correct. And when I checked and I saw all these duplicates in the document, I said, but wait, what's wrong here? And when I went back and looked, I'd already done those 5 screenshots. So we're 60, 70 in, and then you realize you already so I have to.
But what exactly are you pulling in terms of the screenshots? Yeah.
It's line items. It's invoice, date, and payment. For each one of them, invoice number. These are like identification to tell you exactly what just to identify. So if I make a transaction, this is the identification key. This is the identification number. And so you're extracting one by one from each screenshot that has about 13 to 15, and then you put them all in a document. And when you take that document now and you begin to analyze the data, the first time I analyzed the data, Sabrina, I was about 1/3 in of the processing the documents, processing the screenshots, and I began to add it, calculation, and 1/3 the ways in, the number like 2 million something pops up. I said, no man. I know I pull a lot of numbers, over 200 already, but we done that at 2 million and we did a 1/3 of this data. I said, this number is about to be astronomical. Wow. So now I'm 2/3 in and I see 3 million plus. I say, wait, this to look like this is a mere 5 million plus total. And then it wasn't until like 2 o'clock yesterday. I started this process on Saturday. It wasn't until like 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon that I was finally able to get all the numbers together, remove duplicates, because they're actually duplicates, right? So if, let's say for example, you have to clarify this. Let's say for example, one of the screenshots ended with 36, like let's say invoice 36.
Yeah.
Another screenshot might start with that invoice 36 to kind of like continue the sequence. So there's a duplicate, and you just kind of have to delete one so that you have a proper sequence of numbers. And after I removed all the duplicates, and the number came to, and then I did the maths, and I was like, this is it right here, 5,762,000 something. The number is right there. I actually have it here. Let me just quote that. So it's over 62,251 cents. This is the number we came to when we did our analysis and when we placed everything together. I see elsewhere there's a number that's a bit less. It's like 5.67. We have 5.7, right? I understand others came up with different final number, but within the same range, right? We're no accountants, right? We are trying our best to analyze over 600 entries and come to a conclusion so that we could present a well-rounded story to our audience. And so this is the number, and I was blown away. Because this is only within a 2-year period, right? So you're talking from September, there about 2024 through the rest of 2024, the entirety of 2025, and then the first 5 months, maybe 1 week into June, that makes it the 6th month, and you have $5.7 million, Sabrina. This is good business taking place right here. This is a lot of money, and this is what is dropping to a lot of people. Like, how is it that one question is being asked? How is it that a family linked to a sitting minister could make so much money from government coffers or from government payments? And whether or not the service was rendered, it was delivered, whether or not they actually fulfilled on their services, I don't think that is being brought into question as much as the perception of it. The fact that this company belongs to the relatives of a sitting minister, and it reeks of nepotism. And the number, when you attach that 5.7 million to it, and this is only for one company, because remember, there's the whole, there's the issue with the Meera as well, and payments made there. This is just the largest sum we've seen so far.
So there are so many questions that people are asking right now. I have some of my own that I was kind of throwing out yesterday as well. I think some key things to mention was, or is that there was a large portion of that money that you mentioned that spiked up during a time when the minister, who was then the Minister of State, assumed more leadership. And so there's the question of whether perhaps his family members would have given a bigger opportunity to get more in terms of the money. Then there's also the ability that they had to perhaps pay out even more when it was sent to the Prime Minister's office, which we know the Prime Minister being the Minister of Finance as well. I personally wanted to know, was this money taxed as well?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's something that I think a lot of people should be asking when we think of this amount of money. Did they acquire that total? When we think of in a span of 2 years, we're saying, people are saying this is a taxpayer money, but were they even paying taxes on this as well? There's a lot to question. I think it's much deeper, as you mentioned, Paul, than if there was value for money. People are looking at the blatant nepotism, the blatant cronyism, and apparently it's enough even for Minister Meera to step aside. And so there's a lot to look at right now. I think this is a real black eye for the administration right now, and the Prime Minister has a lot to try to clean up.
Yeah, so when we look at some of the trends, Sabrina, take for example, one thing to note is that the Prime Minister's office is a part of the entire records. So MP Farms even did business with the office of the Prime Minister. And when you look at the records, however, it's the Ministry of Defense that paid out the bulk of the money. So $5.6 million from the Ministry of Defense and around $140,000 from the Ministry of from the Prime Minister's office. But when you look at the month by month expenses or payments, right? Look at, for example, the highest month in the 2025, the highest payouts were in September. So in September 2025, 103 invoices totaling more than 9. We have a graphic for that. It's likely before what they're showing on the screen.
Yes.
So $901,899.83 for September 2025.
With 103
right?
invoices.
Just 103 invoices. Then you look at December 2025, $704,808.44. That's 78 invoices. And then in May, 691,000. So again, these are large sums. These are huge payouts. And this is a lot of invoices the majority of them, if not all in these cases, are below $10,000. So here's what happens, Sabrina. When you go below $10,000, then this matter of payment could be dealt with internally. The CEO could sign off on it. The CEO has a threshold of $10,000 that they could sign off on. And I know for a fact, Sabrina, that a lot of CEOs are not happy with that threshold because they're saying, based on conversations I've had, if we as CEO, why you only limit me to $10,000 when you have like CEOs in private companies that are managing tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we here as government CEOs with budgets, mind you, in the millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, you got it to a threshold of $10,000. And so there are CEOs, government CEOs out there that firmly believe that that threshold should be increased in terms of their ability to approve. That's another conversation. But once the payment jumps $10,000, it goes into a phase where it is it meets the conditions for tendering.
Yeah.
Right. So 10,000 to 50,000, as I understand it, is it's supposed to be like limited tendering, right? And then 50,000 and above, it's open tendering. And but you go and you find publicly, you could find the best person for the job, and then you start to get into the millions. You started to need approval from the National Assembly, and so the idea is to keep it below $10,000. One, so that it is managed internally. And this is the strategy that is often employed. You keep it below 10,000 so that it is managed internally, so that the approvals takes place internally. But there are some anomalies in these records. There are some anomalies where in certain cases, like for example, there is a case in, let me just look at this quickly, in December 3rd, 2024, late 2024, shows a payment of $152,000. Right? And that same number is recorded January 16th, 2025. Both of these, mind you, if I'm not mistaken, were before the elections in early 2025. But that's not the point I'm making here. The point I'm making is that you can receive payments of more than $10,000. Been practiced, it is done, the records show it is done, especially with the Prime Minister's office. All of those payments made to MP farms were above, $10,000. So that can happen, and that has happened, and those payments were shown in the records. So why is it that still 600 invoices, over 97% of the records we processed were below that $10,000 threshold? Was it because they wanted to ensure the expediency of payment, to ensure that it's managed internally and they get their money fast? Somebody put it to me like this. I heard this explanation before. Somebody that is well connected within governments, that, you know what? Their armed forces, especially BDF, they require a lot of food. They demand a lot of food. And they demand that the food come in fast, right? And their people can't wait for get their food based on our tendering process, and our approval process will take about 3 months. And in the same way, the vendor can't wait for 3 months for get the pay, so he could pay the people there where he buy from, or the farmers, and because the farmers might say, you know what, until we get the next payment, we know how to deliver food. And so there are some people that argue that there's inefficiencies in the system, and it's simply a matter of inefficiency and trying to get over those inefficiencies, and that's why they follow the strategy and they follow the approach that they did with ensuring that the payments are below the $10,000 threshold. That's the argument that some people make in terms of, and I almost sit down and I almost agree with it, you know. I almost believe it. I say, you know what? you're right, this thing inefficient.
I mean, the last thing we want is our security forces to be
go
out,
hungry, right?
you know, the BDF, when, you know, there were allegations that they were going out on the field without any food that they needed.
I said, man, poor guys, I feel for them. But there is no excuse
To give almost $500,000, $500,000 in a 1 month.
Explanation for just the optics of the family members of a sitting minister receiving so much payouts in government contracts and government agreements, and that's a huge part of the issue here. Now the Prime Minister is saying that in sitting down with Minister Meera yesterday, Minister Meera maintains that he had no involvement in finalizing these agreements, in processing these payments, in employing a certain strategy, that he had no involvement. And what's even more interesting is the Prime Minister said that it is Minister Meera that requested to step
aside.
I don't say that I don't believe him, but I find it interesting.
Minister Julius confirmed it as well.
Well, Minister Julius says he heard that Minister Meera requested the time. The thing is, what I find interesting is that when former Minister of Agriculture, Minister Mai, stepped down, the Prime Minister also said that it was him who requested a time of absence. I think it was for health concerns. So here you have a government that has members that are so noble and of such great integrity that after fighting perhaps all their lives to be in the position they're in, where they've received the confidence of the people at the polls, where they've been victorious in many cases multiple times, decide, you know what, I want to ask for step down. And I know they say, no, that's not the case, but I still find it highly questionable that there's a pattern now where it seems as if ministers are coming to the Prime Minister and requesting, and so PM says that Minister Meera should be admired for his decision to
And we have other
aside.
bodies, other unions, like the NTUCB, saying that is not enough. You know, this person needs to completely resign. We know that the leader of the opposition and the leader of the UDP, Tracy Tager-Panton, has also said that it reeks like a bad joke, you know, him doing that. But just because of the essence of time running out, let's look at what is now the situation. We know that the Prime Minister has tapped Minister Julius Espat to take the reign and add the portfolio Home Affairs to his as well. And you know, based on the interview that you did with him, I can sense that it's not something that he immediately welcomed, but it seems like it's something he feels he has the responsibility to do.
Listen, this is a ministry that is...
It feels like a curse, you know, like the Home Affairs curse. Once you get a portfolio...
I like that. I
the
like
Home
that
Affairs
headline.
curse.
The Home Affairs curse. This ministry has seen 3 ministers within the span of a year, because I think after the entire Houthi Budna scandal, Minister Musa was asked, or I don't know if that he asked or if that they asked, after
there was just a portfolio shuffle.
Right, there was a cabinet shuffle.
Yeah.
And so he went over to immigration, and remember, Minister Henry Charles, who initially was appointed, said, keep that curse away from me, bro. I still have a long political career ahead of me. So that I will count in that 2 ministers, because he named me up on the paper. At least he make it to the paper and never make it to the office. He make it to the paper. So that 2 ministers. Then bam, Mr. Oscar Meera decide that, you know what, I'm not the man for the job. I want to take it up. And kudos to him for doing that.
I mean, he was still considered a junior minister. He was a minister of state, so perhaps it was more like being ambitious to try to prove himself. But the curse is strong, Paul.
3, and now we have the 4th, because I had to count 4 ministers within the span of a year or so that is at the helm of the Ministry of Home Affairs. It must be cursed, Sabrina. There must be something in the water at the Ministry of Home Affairs. But even more than that, Minister Espat takes up this position at a time when, in my view, citizen security is at its lowest for this year.
Yeah.
I'm only counting this year. It's at the time when it's the lowest. We have multiple investigations ongoing in terms of heinous crimes.
Yesterday, we reported on a pregnant woman.
Yes, Miss Urbina incident in Hattieville. There's the incident involving the little boy, the 17-year-old on Brown Street. I'm saying there's a lot that's taking place within the Ministry of Home Affairs. And in my view, no matter how confident you're confident as a minister, because there's a lot of trust in Minister Espat, not only from his government, but from people across the country. But this ministry, just based on because this conversation feels like deja vu.
Yeah.
We're having the same conversation with Mr. Oscar Meera, but this ministry will break you because crime is a real issue in the general public. It's one of those issues that you're actually seeing as you walk the street as a voter, that you're actually hearing about from your neighbor, that you're hearing every day or every week in the news, and then you put a political face to it and somebody to blame and then say, and somebody to call for and say, we want your head. And it's Minister Espat's head and some would argue political career that's on the line now when it comes to the Ministry of Home Affairs. And so it's yet to be seen how he will tackle that ministry. I suspect that if he is worth his salt where Home Affairs is concerned, that he will begin to ensure that there is more public conversations in terms of the commissioner and the rank and files coming forward and saying, hey, this is what's happening and this is what we're doing. And even the CEO and perhaps himself, like sitting down and having these sort of press conferences and building confidence back in the general public.
All right. Well, that concludes the conversation. We are completely out of time, but I know that we will continue to monitor the developments since the stepping aside of Minister Meera. I know that today is set to be a cabinet meeting, and we spoke to several ministers yesterday who has expressed that this will be a topic of discussion, no if or buts. I know that even they perhaps want some answers in terms of what has been taking place from the Ministry of Defense, National Defense, based on the records that we have been seeing. But of course, as we get further updates, we will be providing that to you guys as well. As we close things off, though, Paul, we just want to remind our viewers that we are getting closer and closer to Friday, and that means that Summerfest is coming up as well. We'll be getting our way and packing our bags and going to Dangriga town. We'll be at the Russell Chiste Auditorium in Dangriga, and we're going indoors just in case the rain come down, Paul. But I'm excited about it. You know, this is the first time we are taking Summerfest out district. And so we want to encourage all of the young people, parents, teachers, if you're over that side of the country, to come on out on Friday at 6:30 and join us for our live coverage of Summerfest. There'll be loads of entertainment. We'll have some giveaways. We'll have also some performances by schools. We'll have some sponsors out there as well. So definitely bring your friends, your family out to celebrate with us. Well, let's wrap things up, Paul. We got to now jump into our weather update. And of course, this comes from the folks at the National Meteorological Service. Alrighty, so we are going to go to the weather.
It rained outside, but let's look at the official weather update for today, courtesy our friends from the National Met Service. And see, voila, there, as I said it's going to be cloudy at times today and tonight. A few showers and thunderstorms will affect most areas this morning, with a decrease this afternoon. Then tonight, a few showers and thunderstorms are expected to develop over Toledo District, with isolated showers elsewhere. So in summary, rain this morning, sun this afternoon, and later on tonight, people in the south, watch out because you might get some showers. That's the summary. Today's temperatures along the coast is 88 degrees Fahrenheit on the higher end, 82 on the lower end. Inland, we're looking at 92 degrees Fahrenheit on the higher end and 74 on the lower end. Not playing 92, 92, very hot. And in the hills, 80 degrees Fahrenheit on the higher end and 68 on the lower end. Let's get into our extended forecast. Tomorrow, the hump day, folks, 88 degrees along the coast and 94 inland. I mean, say 94, yeah, inland. That's for Wednesday. So that's a high temperature there. On Thursday, things tick up along the coast, 88 degrees on the higher end and 94. It stays at 94. And then on Friday, 87 along the coast and 90 inland. So the temperatures decrease a bit on Friday. Let's look out for that. And then on Saturday, we have 88 along the coast and 92 inland. So things stay average or relatively the same in terms of the weather for the rest of the week. Our astronomical forecast, the sun rose this morning at 5:19 a.m. and it's going to set later on tonight at 6:30 p.m. For those sunset lovers, you can clock this time. Moonrise, the moon is going to rise at 1:25 p.m. and then the moon is going to set later in the morning. That's tomorrow morning at 1:08 a.m. Our marine conditions. The sea state is moderate today. The wind is going to blow from east at 10 to 20 knots. Let's look at some tides. Today's low is at 12:03 p.m. right after lunch, and then today's high comes in at 5:59 p.m. So right before the moon rises, and then the sun sets. Then today's low is at 11:12 p.m. and then we have another high tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. I believe that's with the sun rise. And that does it for our Eye on the Weather, courtesy our friends at the National Met Service. Sabrina, back to you.
Alrighty, thank you, Paul, for that engaging weather update. At this moment, we are going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be switching our conversation into Ozempic. We'll be discussing the benefits, risks, and misconceptions.
Introducing BB Insurance, built for Belize. Your security, our priority.
When your baby feels comfortable, you feel confident. Because every little moment deserves protection you can trust. Kushkin's diapers are designed with ultra-absorbent layers that lock in leaks while staying soft, dry, and gentle on delicate skin. So your baby can play freely, and you can enjoy every smile without worry. Kushkin's diapers, comfort they feel, protection you trust. Kushkin's diapers and wipes are available countrywide at a supermarket near you.
The biggest football event in the world is finally here, and Smart is giving you the chance to play and win. Before every match starts, predict who will win. The more predictions you make, the more chances you have to win. Get 1 point towards your total when you guess the winning team. Predict the exact score and earn up to 4 points. The top scorer at the conclusion of the World Cup wins the grand prize of $2,500 in cash. That's not all. Players get a chance to win weekly prizes. Plus, our Our quarterfinal winner gets a watch party package played directly in the Smart app for just 50 cents per entry. Prediction starts June 1st to July 18, 2026. Don't just watch the World Cup, play along and win with Smart. Smart, bringing people together.
The next station is not just a place. It's the vacation capital of the world, Mexican Caribbean. Do you know why we are the capital of vacations? Because no other place on earth brings together so many ways to vacation in one single destination. Every vacation imaginable. Mexican Caribbean, the vacation capital.
For the very first time ever, Open Your Eyes is bringing the Summerfest show to beautiful Dangriga town. Join us on Friday, June 26th at 6:30 a.m. at the Russell Chester Garcia Auditorium for a morning filled with energy, excitement, and non-stop talent. From singing to dancing, poetry to special performances, this is your stage to shine and showcase what you've got. And guess what? It's not just about talent. It's about winning big. Amazing prizes are up for grabs. And even your favorite teacher can walk away as a winner. So come early, bring the vibes, bring the energy, and don't miss Open Your Eyes Summerfest as it lights up Dangriga for the very first time. Open Your Eyes Summerfest, only on GBM.
He skipped nights out, said maybe next time too often. Ramen became a lifestyle, all for this moment, his first car. Protect what you've worked for with RF&G Motor Insurance.
Running a business means every dollar counts.
As a business owner, you face different challenges every day. You need cash flow on hand as soon as you can.
With Belize Bank's same-day settlement, transactions settled by 4 p.m. are credited the very same night.
The same-day settlement will definitely make a difference for my business because I know I have money in the bank so I can pay my suppliers, my staff, etc.
Faster access to your funds, better cash flow, greater control. And with auto settlement, it's done for you every day. Same-day settlement from Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. This is our first conversation for this morning, and it's all about the Ozempic conversation. I'm sure some of you have heard of it. Some of you know what it is. For some of you, it's perhaps just TikTok that popped up and it piqued their interest. Well, this is a conversation we're going to learn, and we're going to better understand what this treatment is, what this medication is, and really how it helps people out there. And so we have joining us on set to have this conversation, nutritionist at the Belize Healthcare Partners, Ms. Doris Saralan, and internist, family now, to Open Your Eyes, co-host
At this point, right?
Dr. Hidalgo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure having you all. So, Doc, let's start the conversation by getting an understanding, demystifying, if you would, what Ozempic is.
Yes, well, Ozempic basically belongs to a category of medication that we call it a GLP-1. And those medications essentially start almost probably a couple years ago with the main idea of treating diabetes. And it turns very effective on treating diabetes, but down the road also the researchers noticed that the patients also benefiting on losing weight and having an important weight loss, and then they extend a branch of investigation on with that purpose, and it basically with good outcomes. No, essentially those drugs, what and in this particular area of weight loss, that they does is they essentially control the sensation of hunger, make you feel with no more hunger, no craving, send those messages to your brain that you are full, no? And then usually you have, so, okay, I'm craving for this type of food, but with this medication that is control.
So that's tied to like the weight loss aspect of it, but how does this GLP-1 medication help with diabetes even?
Yes, because that's also a very important, and it's the initial or the beginning of the drugs.
Yes.
No? I mean that what we see is that it controls the regulation of insulin, and also losing weight, and send all these hormones control. It's been very effective, especially when we comes to the control of the regular test that we do, the hemoglobin A1C. That is a memory test that we have in the body to us as a physician and also the nutritionist to understand, okay, what happened in the last 3 months, is the patient doing good or no? That's to avoid cheating. No? The hemoglobin A1C results in the past, only with medication we have problems to control, but when those drugs, we see tremendous good outcomes with the hemoglobin A1C control. We have some better goals of achieving better results with patients, and that also came along with the fact that losing weight and physical activity is more comprehensive, and we have better outcomes using it.
Now, Ms. Sutherland, you're a nutritionist. I'm sure in your profession you promote healthy lifestyles, healthy eating, balanced diets, and just naming a few. What's your thoughts on Ozempic or these GLP-1s?
Okay, well, Ozempic, we have started to use it. I would say not too frequently, but we have some patients now on Ozempic, and I wouldn't discard it as a use for weight loss. It's actually beneficial because we do see patients losing weight very fast. However, patients on Ozempic need to understand that it's not a replacement for a healthy lifestyle. So we don't want to take Ozempic and stop exercising and not changing your eating habits. So this is very important, that while taking Ozempic, you do need to focus a lot on your nutrition, because when you take Ozempic, you lose weight, but you don't only lose body fat. So you also start to lose a lot of muscle. So you do need to replace that with protein. So usually anybody that starts with Ozempic needs to prioritize protein intake. And when we say prioritize protein intake, it's not just to eat small portions of protein. We do need to try to achieve at least 100 grams, which is probably a total of 4 chicken breasts a day.
Yeah,
so it's very important that they focus on increasing protein intake.
Yeah.
And then some patients may experience some side effects, but it's not necessarily from the medication itself, but it's because they're not eating or not eating sufficient food throughout the day. Because since there is like a loss of appetite, some people would go hours without eating, and then they may experience bloating, nausea, or maybe even acid reflux, but it's not necessarily from the medication itself, but also from not eating.
So what's the turnaround rate for losing weight based on what you're seeing with the patients in front of you?
Okay, so some studies have mentioned that people would lose maybe between 8 to 10% of body weight within the first 5 weeks. So we do see a rapid weight loss, yes, at the beginning. Just like any dietary method or any changing eating pattern or even medication, sometimes after a couple months, there might be a reduction in the amount of weight you lose, like from the start, after a couple of months. However, that's why dietary intervention is important from the start, and even including exercises such as strength training in order for the person to continue losing weight throughout the months.
Is that healthy though, Doc, to lose from 8 to 10% of your body weight in just about 5 weeks? Is there any risks involved with losing weight so quickly?
Yes, that's a good question. I mean, that's why when we start the treatment, we normally start with the minimal dosage, and we escalate. Usually, we start with the lower dosage with the main purpose of the body need to adjust, because as Ms. Doyle mentioned, it will cause a reduction on the gastric motility. Mean that most of the patients at the very beginning, some of them are going to feel bloated, some of them can experience nausea, vomiting. Some patients can also experience constipation, and other patients can have diarrhea. No? I mean that we usually say we need to start this with the company of a nutritionist to regulate and to see, okay, we are losing weight very drastically, and it varies with people. There are people that they lose weight very quickly, and some others no. I mean that we need to individualize. Not everybody respond in the same way.
Some people have also expressed side effects, and perhaps you can clarify if that might be associated with Ozempic. I've heard things like hair loss and even their teeth being affected as well. Is that an association with Ozempic?
Those are some of the side effects that patients can experience, no? And that's why it's very critical that the patients need to be followed by the nutritionist, because we need to supplement properly. No? We need to give, is the patient eating properly?
So that's a supplement issue, a supplement issue.
Yes.
So Ms. Sutherland, coming back to you, if I decide I want to undergo this process, this program, as I would call it, because it's treatment over time, how would you come in to support me initially and throughout the process? Like, what are some questions you would ask me? Is there like a requirement, something I must meet a threshold to be able to take it from a nutritionist standpoint?
Okay, so at the beginning we do what is called a nutritional evaluation, where we would do body weight, body composition. We would analyze what the patient eats, what the patient has access to, because that is also very important. Their physical activity, if you haven't done any exercise, evaluate what the person can do, and also their medical history, because a lot of times when a person has obesity, it's not just obesity, it's also related to many other diseases. So we take into consideration all of that, and then a meal plan is done according to what the person has, and also their weight loss goals.
Yeah.
And also, the exercise component is also touched with them.
I'd love for us to look at obesity, separating it from diabetes, because we know that this emergence of Ozempic, as you explained, Doc, came about to aid with diabetes and help with insulin and hormones and whatnot. But there are people who are also suffering with obesity, which is now seen as an actual disease, and not just people eating or overeating by choice and not being able to control their cravings. Is this now a solution for obesity here in Belize?
Yes, it's not a solution isolated. I mean that, of course, it's one of the choices, and it's a good choice as an alternative for treatment. No? As you mentioned, in the past we say, okay, if the people have obesity, probably it's because they are not eating properly or they are not exercising.
Yeah, by choice. It's their own choice, their own doing.
But those concepts now are changing. Now obesity is considered as a disease, and then need to be treated as such, as a chronic condition like diabetes or hypertension. I mean that we need to have accompany those patients for a long period of time, and this from the many alternatives for treatment, the GLP-1 is and one of the alternatives that essentially those days are basically been very popular with good outcomes. Now, of course, nothing is 100%, as I mentioned. This one needs to be on a comprehensive approach, in that the medication, the followed by the physician, the nutritionist, lifestyle changes. I mean, and this is something that needs to be addressed in that way.
How does the process work?
Yes.
Can someone who is diabetic, or let's look at a case of someone who's obese, can they knock on your door and say, Doc, I want to take Ozempic for a month, lose some weight, and carry on? Can they do that? What is that process like?
Yeah, the initial visit, then and many people usually do that. You know, they knock on our doors and, oh, can I have a prescription of Ozempic, just to give you like that idea, but it doesn't work like that. No, we need to do a proper assessment. We need to see some basic lab tests, glucose tests, level of insulin. We need to also work with the nutritionist to see what is the body index, what are the alternatives in terms of diet. I mean that the approach needs to be a comprehensive approach.
In terms of administration, is it an injection, and how or where is it administered on the body? That's the first part.
Yes, this type of medications is once a week.
Once a week.
Once a week, and then it's administered by subcutaneous, like the insulin, and then you can apply in the pre-umbilical area. You can apply in arms and in your legs as well. I mean that we usually advise to the patient that it's best if we rotate the location of the injection.
For like soreness?
Exactly.
Is it like a tester shot when people test their sugar for that little prick, or is it a bigger injection?
No. It's even less. I don't say nobody likes injection.
Yeah.
I'm one of the first that I don't like injection, but it's comfortable. No, it's not really bad.
And how long does a patient stay on it?
It will depend. As we mentioned already, the obesity now is a chronic condition. I mean that we can say depends on what category, what are the underlying medical conditions, because of course we say obesity, but usually we consider this as like a metabolic syndrome. That means that most of the times patients have diabetes, hypertension, and other conditions associated that also we need to see. But if we can say, okay, let's say we can go for a immediate 6 to 12 months program. Some others probably will need a little bit more longer program, 2 to 3 years, and some others that definitely the condition requires a more longer term treatment. I mean, we need to essentially treat each patient on an individual basis. Depends on what additional conditions the patient has.
No, Miss Sutherland, I know that at this stage with the medication, there's still some stigma associated with it, you know. Some people say it's a shortcut. You didn't work for the progress. Well, Sabrina has been working her butt off in the gym, losing those pounds. You come here and you take a shortcut. But I hear you're actually kind of demystifying it for us, helping us to understand that no, it also comes with other components like proper dieting and stuff like that. Why do you think there's still this stigma associated with it?
Yeah, it is common that people would say you're taking a weight loss pill, so you're basically cheating on getting to your desired weight faster. However, like I said, you still need to exercise. You still need to change your dietary habits to sustain it for a long time, because there would be at some point that maybe you can't take the Ozempic for too long. Maybe after a couple of years you might want to stop taking it. So in order to prevent the regain of the weight, you need to have a structured eating pattern so as to maintain the weight that you had lost at the beginning.
You mean it's not forever? If I take it, if I undergo the program?
No, it could be. It depends, like how Doc says, on your medical conditions, what you have, what are your weight loss goals. because at some point you might reach to your ideal weight and you might not want to lose any more weight. So then at that point, maybe you might consider maybe go back to your lower dose or discontinuing it. That would require that you follow up with your doctor, and then they help you to decide what would be the next step. However, it's good to have a structured eating pattern from the beginning of taking the Ozempic, so that if at any point you discontinue it, you can carry on with that.
But I'm a bit concerned about appetite loss, right? Because on one hand, you're saying have structured eating habits, but on the other hand, it also affects your appetite. So that is there like a conflict there when you're on the medication? I need to eat, but I really don't feel like eating.
Yes, so we've had experiences with a few patients that they say that they don't feel hungry, and sometimes they go hours without eating, which is not good, because you're at the same time losing a lot of muscle mass as well as weight. So usually I would advise them to try to stick to an eating pattern. Have your first meal maybe at 7 a.m., a mid-morning snack, midday meal, afternoon snack. And if you're not able to achieve those meals, because maybe you forget, you're at work, you're occupied, and you don't remember to eat, you have to set alarms. I've had maybe 2 people having to set alarms to eat, because you go so many hours without eating, and then when you finally eat, you have stomach issues, you have nausea because you've been hours without any food. So I would usually advise them to set reminders, and even though the appetite is less and they would feel full faster, usually I would also advise them to prioritize protein. Okay, so the order in which you eat is also important. So for example, when you set your plate, start with the protein, because that's the main thing that your body needs, followed by your greens or your vegetables, and then end with the starchy foods, your rice, bread, potatoes, and so on. So it's a task. It's at the beginning, it's very hard for them to get used to that eating pattern, but over time, if you stick to an eating time or eating schedule, then it gets a bit easier.
I think the core of the conversation is that it's not a magic supplement. It's not a magic injection that will allow you to have this weight just disappear overnight. There's a responsibility that you still have, as Paul said. It's not a shortcut necessarily. I think it aids in the process where people are far gone in their issues with obesity or with diabetes. This helps that. I want to get to the price point though, Doc, because I've been following the Ozempic conversation for the better part of 2 years, and I know when it first came on the scenes, at least in the United States, there were concerns about insurance coverage of it. At least here in Belize, is this something that insurance companies cover?
Well, I think so. In terms of pricing, the pricing, of course, at the very beginning was very expensive.
Yeah. Is it still
expensive? It's still expensive,
yes.
But of course,
so.
it's more. It's becoming more affordable because of course, there are more other drugs available and things. In terms of the insurance, it will depend on the category of if it's the medical condition. Then everything needs to be proper documented for the justification for the insurance to cover.
What's the price of it, Doc?
It depends. Usually it ranges from 800 to 1,000 Belize dollars for a month.
For a month, which would be 4.
Yes, for injections.
4 injections.
It's a pen. It comes in a pen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the initial pen, as I mentioned, we start usually gradually, and the initial pen brings like 6 applications. We start with it depends. Either if you use Ozempic, Monjaro, or all those drugs, we normally will start with a lower dosage for the initial 4 weeks. That it allows the body to adjust.
Do I need a doctor to apply it, or can I self-medicate, if you would?
There are many choices. I mean, at the very beginning, we say we can teach you how to use it, because it's very simple, and then after that, then you can do it yourself at home.
Yeah, well, I am just excited about the fact that we are having this conversation in Belize, right? Because this this blew up online as a trend,
Yes.
primarily for celebrities that were looking to lose weight quickly. And now here we have it in Belize, at the Belize Healthcare Partners, I understand. You guys have the treatment, correct?
Yes.
And we have it accessible to the general public. As far as I'm concerned, that's a good thing.
Well, again, everything needs to be looked on an individual basis. It's
Indeed.
a good alternative. It's not a magic bullet. That's something that we need to mention, and we need to mention as well that, and Ms. Doris mentioned, the problem is if we don't do as a part of a comprehensive program, then what is going to happen is, okay, I'm completed my 8 months or my year program. Then some people experience that we call it the rebound gain of weight. I mean that to avoid that, then we need to have a very diligent and proper follow-up to prevent that to happen. We see that with some patients that they essentially they disappear and then suddenly they have this rebound gain of weight.
Within a short span of time.
That's when they come off of it just like cold
Exactly.
turkey, right?
Yes.
Versus like tapering off of it.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I definitely learned a lot from this
same.
conversation. I'm hoping that people will take advantage of the information, and even if it's something that you were thinking about, you can maybe visit your doctor at the Healthcare Partners and ask questions first to see if this might be a treatment for you. Doc, ma'am, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate the information and the time you guys have taken to speak with us, and of course our viewers by extension.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
too.
All right, we got to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, our next conversation is all about styling with purpose.
The next station is not just a place, it's the vacation capital of the world. Mexican Caribbean, the vacation capital.
Money travels fast, so make sure you check it before you spend it. Here are 4 easy ways to know your money is real. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Look closely at your note by holding it to the light to see the watermark and the note value. Notice how the see-through image completes itself perfectly. Feel for authenticity. Run your fingers over the raised portrait and the bars on the edges. 1 bar for the $2 and up to 6 bars for the $100. Tilt the note to see the hidden value appear. Look for the moving images on the security thread and holographic shimmer on higher denominations. Check closely. Use UV light or a magnifying glass to find hidden images and microtext. Remember, handling counterfeit money is illegal. If you spot a fake, report it to the police immediately. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Know your money. Check it before you spend it. A message from the Central Bank of Belize.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad. In the month of June, visit a Benny's store near you and get store-wide discounts on select items such as Milwaukee and Axie power tools, Charbroil barbecue grills, car care products, Karcher pressure washers, Sankey smart TVs, gym equipment, and much, much more. Make dad happy with popping deals for dad in June, only at Benny's.
Benny's, Benny's, oh, Benny's, 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 Benny's.
If you're into news production, if you've got a sharp eye for what audiences care about, think quickly on your feet, and you're a strong writer, this could be your way into digital media. Greater Belize Media is looking for a digital associate. It's an entry-level, full-time position, and your chance to get hands-on experience in journalism and digital storytelling. Bring the energy, the curiosity, and the willingness to learn and work flexible shifts in a fast-paced media environment. Apply now by sending your CV and cover letter to gbtv@btl.net by July 1st, 2026.
He skipped nights out. Said maybe next time too often. Ramen became a lifestyle. All for this moment, his first car. Protect what you've worked for with RF&G Motor Insurance.
Ever had your car declined? Now it doesn't have to be. Introducing partial authorization. If the car doesn't cover the full amount, it notifies you what's available. You can accept the partial payment and pay the missing balance with a credit card or cash. No decline. Get what you came for. Partial authorization now available. Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Everyone has a role to play in ending child marriage and early union. It starts with protecting children's rights. We stop child marriage and early unions by speaking up, by keeping children in school, by supporting families with the services and support they need, and by creating safe spaces for children in Belize.
To learn more, follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
He skipped nights out. Said maybe next time too often. Ramen became a lifestyle. All for this moment, his first car. Protect what you've worked for with RF&G Motor Insurance.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100 key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
Welcome back. We are jumping into our second conversation, and it's all about styling with purpose. We are spotlighting Zenia Alonzo's designs, and we have herself here with us. Good morning.
Morning.
Good
Welcome
morning.
back. It was just about a week or so ago. We had you on the couch with us talking about your business being a part of, I believe it was BCCI?
Yeah.
Yes.
Beltrade.
Beltrade, yes.
Trade shows.
It was trade shows.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, you've had such an incredible journey. Just the story that you shared the last time you were here with us. We're so grateful that we now have the opportunity to have a full sit down with you and even highlight some of your products as well. Zenia, before we even do that, perhaps we can take a step back and look at what that journey has been like for persons who might not be familiar. I understand it started during the pandemic.
Yes.
Let's go there.
So during the pandemic, I had just finished community college and I really wasn't doing anything. So I picked up crocheting and I did like a sweater. And I took a picture and I posted it online on Instagram, and like everyone was like, wow, that's so amazing. And then I just started crocheting more, and then I got into handbags, and then I released like 3 bags. And with the money from that, then I started buying more yarn, making more bags, selling, and so that's pretty much how I started. That was almost 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did your initial bags look like?
They're right on the screen.
Yeah, so tell us a bit about how the bags have evolved.
So the first bags that I did, I always like to keep the wood effect on it, so the logos stayed the same. They're made from Belizean hardwood. But the yarn that I used on my first bags was called raffia yarn. So it's kind of like a straw material. And then in terms of durability, I felt like I needed something that would last like a really long time. The weather, you know, you're taking your bag, your cocktail hour, something spills on your bag. Like I wanted something a little bit more durable. And so I started using polyester yarn. And it's not really yarn, it's like a rope. And so it's thicker, but it's more durable. It will last very long.
You said you studied and you graduated from community college. What did you study, and did it align with what you're doing now?
Not really. Well, yes and no, because if you're someone that crochets, you know, you have to deal with patterns and numbers. I actually majored in math and physics.
Oh my gosh.
And I just...
That's quite different.
Yeah.
I like that you're trying to still make the connection.
Yeah.
It's like, yes,
completely opposite, like day and night. And so, but I mean, the background helps, especially with my 3D printed handbags.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that, because beyond, you know, these natural resources that you've been able to use, like wood and stuff like that, you've also tapped into some emerging technology like 3D printing as well. Tell us how you were able to innovate and add these elements to your handbags.
Okay, so the first 3D printed handbag is the green one right in the front
At
here.
the front there.
I did a collaboration with another Belizean engineer, and he specializes in 3D printing. So I first started off with a sketch, and I get inspired a lot by nature. So I'm like, I need to create a bag that's a leaf, and I just want that to be like, you know, you just wear it, and it's a like statement piece. So I started with a sketch, and then we did a model for it. And
it matches your outfit, Paul. You definitely model that.
Then there was a lot of like trial and error, especially in terms of material, what's more durable, what's not durable. So definitely takes months to plan, especially if it's 3D printing, and it also takes a lot of hours to print. So the first bag, I think it took us like 8 hours for one print to complete. And then we have to assemble the pieces. And then for my second bag, it's 14 hours.
Whoa.
So...
Yeah.
And what's the durability of the material used in the 3D printing?
I think the first one, the green one, is TPU. So it's a more flexible material. And then the second bag is ASA. So that one is very durable. It's heat resistant and stuff like that.
Now, talk a bit about the design for this second one, the design aspect, and what was your thought process?
So the inspiration for my second handbag, which is called Eggshell.
Eggshell.
It's inspired by a conservationist, Miss Maria Garcia, and it's actually a collaboration with PACT. So they're celebrating 30 years of funding conservation in Belize, and we decided to highlight 3 designers and 3 conservationists. And so I was a designer, and I got paired with Miss Elvira, and she is in charge of the Eligio Pante Park in Mountain Pine Ridge and the Itsamna Society. So that was my inspiration, the rainforest. And so the body of the bag is kind of like the roots and all of that. And then the handle of the bag is actually made from supa seeds.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
You
I
can see
see
it now.
that. Yeah, I see that now.
I could tell now.
And then you have, so there's the outer casing.
And then there's the inner casing, which is basically just a silk drawstring. And then the drawstring has braided tassels also from the Maya Center in Cayo, I think.
How much of this can you realistically produce? Given the turnaround
with
time?
all of my 3D printed bags, actually, we do it more like an exclusive thing. So the first handbag was only 20. So we did 10 green and 10 black. and they all sold out. And then the second bag, we're doing only 15.
Only 15?
Yes.
Is it? Do you have those 15 available yet, or this is the first?
So I've actually released pre-orders this week, and 10 are gone.
Wow.
So we have only 5 left.
Oh my
So it's
gosh.
really limited edition.
Yeah.
This is really nice.
Yeah,
though.
it's fantastic. I imagine a lot of people are curious, though, on how they can access this and perhaps maybe even see your catalog. Are you fully online? Do you have a storefront?
I don't have a storefront yet, but I do have a website. So it's zeniaalonzo.com, and you can go on my website and you can see what's available or what's for pre-order. You can see images, you can see our story, and you could send us an email if you would like something more customized.
Yeah.
What would
For people who you spoke of, persons going on your website and seeing your story. How would you describe your story? You told us a little bit about the community college transition, but how would you explain what your brand is and how it's connected to your personal story?
My personal story is, I guess, like empowerment then for women, because I feel like when you're wearing something nice, you feel good about yourself, and you just have like this confidence because you're wearing nice clothes or you have nice accessories. And I also wanted to like make Belizeans proud because it's made from a Belizean. So I also think that's like the big inspiration, where you can get something here. You travel around the world and you can find different bags from different places, but Belize wanted something you could say, I got that in Belize.
There's an ownership and a pride that comes with that.
Yeah, and these bags to me carry characteristic. They're unique.
Yeah, each bag tells a different story, and it's for a
Yes.
different woman. You know, you
Yes.
have the big tote.
Yes, let's go through what we have here. So you have the bigger bags here.
Yes,
Tell me about
this
that.
is a beach bag, so your beach towel, your bikini, everything you need
Ooh, and
in
it's
one bag.
heavy.
Yeah, you feel
Whoa.
the material. It's very
I did not
durable.
expect it to be such a heavy lift, but it's beautiful and it feels very sturdy. This
Yes.
feels like something I'll have for years.
Yes.
Wow,
exactly.
this is beautiful.
Would it be
I would
something you'd
absolutely
carry?
use this. Yes, I would absolutely
What would
use
you
this.
put in here? Your beach
I would put my
towel?
sunblock, I put my sunglasses, my bottle of water. I put a lot of things in here.
That's nice.
This is beautiful. Okay, let's
Thank you.
go
And
along.
then this one is a Cora. It's inspired by a shell, like the shell structure.
Yes,
Do you
I can
wanna
tell.
see it? Right here.
Oh, yes.
This is beautiful as well.
That's a small, like date night bag.
How do you feel about the handles?
I love it. I love it. A bag like this, you go on a date, there's only room for one thing in here, your lip gloss.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, really? Is it that you all knew exactly what to put in there?
Because that's what you put in it when you go on a
lip
date.
gloss?
Yeah, as a girl.
A whole person.
We take a lip gloss in there and that's it.
That's why it's a statement piece.
Yeah, it really is a statement piece, though.
It's
I
art.
love that you knew exactly what goes inside. All right, and here.
It's like a clam.
I like that one for weddings.
Yes, this is beautiful. It's a beautiful statement piece as
Oh,
well.
would you put a lip gloss in here, too?
Yeah, well, if I'm going to a wedding, then I guess I have to put my phone in it. But a lip gloss goes in here as well.
It's a nice phone, just the shape of it.
But I also love, again, I can't get over how sturdy it feels. This is something that, you could feel that it will last a very long time.
Use it as a weapon.
Yeah, I was
use
just
it as a-
thinking.
You.
Get away.
You. Okay, let's put it over here.
Yeah.
That's good.
This really is sturdy. The wood.
Yes,
Where
let's
does the
get into
wood
that.
come from? This is Belize wood, right?
Yeah, so all of our wood is sourced in Spanish Lookout, and they're all made from Belizean hardwood. And I think that's like a great selling point because you're taking a part of Belize with you.
Yeah.
And that's from our new collection.
Oh, take a look at this, guys.
I love the color. The pucker.
You have a little tassel there as well.
The tassels are made from banana fiber. So it's
Oh.
Belizean banana fiber.
I highlighted them before. Yeah, and then this here as well.
That's
the little
I got
detail.
into crocheting flowers to add like a little color to the bag, and so.
So you
pretty
could
much-
literally do this in any color you'd
Any
like
color,
and
yeah.
attach it to the bag.
And it has
This
a
is
little
great.
metal logo too.
What's the
to it.
price points of your bags for people who might be interested? I see a couple people here saying they would love to get it as gifts as well.
Yes.
For themselves.
So our bigger totes range from $350 Belize dollars to $400. The smaller bags, like the statement pieces, are $180, $195. And the collaboration handbag, which is the one with packed, that one is $300.
That's this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one, 50% of the proceeds will go back to It's Amna Society. So it's a collaboration to help conservation in Belize.
And there's really only 5 left.
Yeah.
And so this one is kind of like a mid-size compared to the other two. What's the price range for that front one?
Which front one?
This one right there.
Oh, that one? That's my new collection, so I really haven't figured out a
Price
price point
is-
for that yet,
Yeah.
but it would be in the range from like $190 and up.
Okay. All right. Well, Zenia, this is exciting. These pieces are stunning. I'm certain there are people who might be interested in getting their hands on it. And so what's your website handle and how can we get in touch with you?
So you can get in touch with me on my website, zeniaalonzo.com, or on Instagram, zeniaalonzo.
All righty. Well, thank you very much for joining
Thank you
us.
too.
And we look forward to following your journey as an entrepreneur.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. We are going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we are going to be highlighting what part you live, Paul, what part you live. Hopefully, it makes it on the upcoming Belikin campaign highlighting different communities in the country.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy 8. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad. In the month of June, visit a Benny's store near you and get store-wide discounts on select items such as Milwaukee and Axie power tools, Charbroil barbecue grills, car care products, Karcher pressure washers, Sankey smart TVs, gym equipment, and much, much more. Make dad happy with popping deals for dad in June, only at Benny's.
They're not just cigarette, vape, hookah, cigar, and all kind of tobacco product, Lego, dangerous smoke, and toxic chemical. When you smoke or vape, that cloud they not disappear. It turn into second-hand smoke and third-hand smoke where people wrong your breathing. That kind of smoke that could cause cancer, diabetes, lungs disease, and heart problems. It could kill anybody who get exposed to it. If you smoke or vape, go outside, far from people. Everybody deserves to breathe clean, clean air.
He skipped nights out. Said maybe next time too often. Ramen became a lifestyle. All for this moment, his first car. Protect what you've worked for with RF&G Motor Insurance.
The biggest football event in the world is finally here, and Smart is giving you the chance to play and win. Before every match starts, predict who will win. The more predictions you make, the more chances you have to win. Get 1 point towards your total when you guess the winning team. Predict the exact score and earn up to 4 points. The top scorer at the conclusion of the World Cup wins the grand prize of $2,500 in cash. That's not all. Players get a chance to win weekly prizes. Plus, our quarter-final winner gets a watch party package. Play directly in the Smart app for just 50 cents per entry. Prediction starts June 1st to July 18, 2026. Don't just watch the World Cup. Play along and win with Smart. Smart, bring bringing people together.
He skipped nights out. Said maybe next time too often. Ramen became a lifestyle. All for this moment, his first car. Protect what you've worked for with RF&G Motor Insurance.
I've always been fascinated with gemstones. It's all about taking nature's beauty and creating something uniquely beautiful. I've had inspiration from the Bliss Blue Bull, the beaches, the Jaguar. I've launched a new product called Co-Design with Deb, and Atlantic Bank's e-commerce system has opened the door to my international customers so I can receive payments so they can have their custom pieces shipped to them.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
With everything going on in a day, it's easy to overlook a renewal date. That's why Home Protector Insurance sends a simple reminder to help keep you on track. Home Protector Insurance, if it's worth something, insure it.
For the very first time ever, Open Your Eyes is bringing the Summerfest show to beautiful Dangriga town. Join us on Friday, June 26th at 6:30 a.m. at the Russell Chester Garcia Auditorium for a morning filled with energy, excitement, and non-stop talent. From singing to dancing, poetry to special performances, this is your stage to shine and showcase what you've got. And guess what? It's not just about talent. It's about winning big. Amazing prizes are up for grabs. And even your favorite teacher can walk away as a winner. So come early, bring the vibes, bring the energy, and don't miss Open Your Eyes Summerfest as it lights up Dangriga for the very first time. Open Your Eyes Summerfest, only on GBM.
The next station is not just a place. It's the vacation capital of the world, Mexican Caribbean. Do you know why we are the capital of vacations? Because no other place on earth brings together so many ways to vacation in one single destination. Every vacation imaginable. Mexican Caribbean, the vacation capital.
Introducing BB Insurance, built for Belize. Your security, our priority.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. This is our third conversation for this morning, and it's all about the Whip Part Your Live labels and the Whip Part Your Live campaign by Belikin. And we have joining us on set Belikin brand coordinator, Mr. Martin Guy, and beverage brand manager, Mr. Alexander Ellis. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. It's been a minute, guys. Where have you been? All right, well, let's jump into it. I know that just about 3 months ago, we had you guys on set talking about this campaign that people had to get involved and vote, you know, vote for the neighborhood or the community that they wanted to see on the Belikin bottles. And it's crazy. Time flew by so quickly. We are now at that point where we're able to unveil those communities that are highlighted. And so hopefully you guys tuning in right now, you'll get to find out if what part you live has been highlighted on one of these bottles. Just to take a quick step back and refresh our viewers on what this campaign is all about, Martin, could you highlight what it is and the purpose of it?
Okay, so Belikin Whip Part Your Live
for those who don't know, Belikin is paying homage to different communities throughout the country by highlighting where part you live or different hometowns throughout the entire country of Belize. So earlier this year in March, we opened a voting platform and we asked people to vote for where part they live.
Yeah.
Right? Those the top 88 locations from those votes, we've then now highlighted them on Belikin labels, right? So for the remainder of this month, July and August, all Belikin bottles will feature where part you live labels. So it gives consumers the opportunity to go into the stores, look for where part they live, pan a Belikin bottle. So if you're from Barrel Boom, from Ladyville, you could find a label, a Belikin label, or a piece of your hometown through a Belikin bottle.
So let's look at just communities represented here, right? So we got Barrel Boom. Barrel Boom today?
Yes, Barrel Boom today.
Big up, we.
All right, we got Kamalote. Kamalote today. We got Belmopan.
Of course.
And then Belize City. Belize City today.
Pachakandi up there.
All right, that answer my question. Right? I didn't go so far.
Yeah, I see Rolling Creek there as well on the far end.
San Hill, Placencia, San Antonio. Yeah, Rolling Creek, you know the mix.
Rolling Creek. Now, as you mentioned, Martin, these communities are going to be featured on the bottles for only a limited time period.
Yes.
And so for people who might be excited about this, consider it limited edition, right?
It is.
I don't know about you, but I might not want to drink this bottle. I might want to maybe store it somewhere and have it placed kind of like a bit of a merchandise and whatnot. But where exactly are you supposed to see your community or what you live placed on a bottle?
So the bottles, or if you can see from the image, so we stuck to the typical Belikin branding, but below is where we highlighted where part you live. And if you're looking to find these bottles, they're going to be in every store, every bar, every retail outlet that sells a Belikin.
Yeah.
So all 100% of our labels for the next 2 months will be featured like this.
No, I understand, my brother. There's another aspect to it because when you think we're done with just to get started.
Yeah, so like what Sab said, right? She wants to put her bottle up in the display shelf.
Might not be beneficial.
Or somewhere, but here's the catch, right? If you open the bottle, underneath the crown, which is a cup, you will see a alphanumeric code.
Oh, so we have to open it.
Well, you could always buy an next one and store the one you want and buy next one and open it, right?
What?
So, like what Martin said, the bottles will be everywhere countrywide in your corner store, your favorite store. The bottles will be available. So it's when you buy a bottle, obviously for the label as well too. But the important piece is when you open it, the alphanumeric code. We have different QR codes that you could scan at the different events. But we also have a WhatsApp number, which is 603-0777, that you punch in that alphanumeric code, and it automatically tells you what you win.
So we win something.
So you win something, and even if you don't win at that point, you get a chance to enter into a bigger raffle where we will be raffling Belikin for a year.
No man. We open all on a bottle.
So like what you said, we have over 20,000 prizes for the duration of this campaign, right? So like if you don't win, like I said, we have 3 big raffles, which is July 18th, August 1st, and we have the biggest one at Belikin Bash on August 29th.
Wow. So. You just reminded me, Belikin Bash to come around.
Yeah.
It's right
It's coming.
So just to etch that number in the minds of our viewers. So it's 603-0777.
Yes.
And all you have to do, like you said, is take that number that's under the cap, put it in the WhatsApp, send it to that number.
And it's going to tell you if you're a winner, right? So it tells you automatically if you win. There's a sign-up phase for the people who voted in phase 1.
We voted.
Yeah, you guys voted.
So we voted live.
So you guys don't have to sign up again.
Great.
Right? So when you go into that WhatsApp number, if you haven't signed up, you give your name, your age, right? And then you punch in the code. It tells you if you're a winner or not. After it tells you if you're a winner, right? It tells you where you can pick up your prizes as well.
Tell us about the prizes.
Right? So you could pick up we have over 20,000 prizes.
That's
right?
a lot.
We have beer, we have t-shirts, we have keychains, we have Yeti cups, cooler bags, openers, 6-packs, single Belikin beer, right? So a wide array, and all of these prizes are limited edition. So when they're gone, they're gone. Right, just like the bottles, the prizes are also limited
So
edition.
it makes opening every bottle even more exciting.
Exactly.
You're not excited to go a cold one in your hand, but even more excited to open it. So what kind of thing that?
So you could collect all 88. Sabrina could display at home, don't open them,
Yeah.
and buy a next 88 and
Yes.
open all of them.
Yes.
I go rent the house to open them. So I know where all your stuff are then gone. Yeah, I carry them. Good. So I understand like the prizes are really nice, right? So and you have.
And I imagine some of
20,000
them on
prizes.
display are
Yes,
some
yeah,
things that
yeah,
we'll be getting.
yeah.
Let's take a look at some of those merch. So what we have on display here are some of the prizes that are included in that 20,000 there.
Yeah, so that's the
Yes,
keychain.
you have some
Yeah,
keychains.
we have magnets,
Oh, that's nice.
the shape of the country, and it says Belikin, where part to live. We also have
Shirts we have on right now.
t-shirts. We have on where part to live t-shirts, right? We have Yeti cups. Everything that we're giving away is branded where part to live. Belikin,
love
where
it.
part to live. Cooler bags, Yeti cups. We have beer. So the full works.
Yeah.
How does the team over at Belikin feel about this campaign and its success so far?
So, I mean, it's very exciting, right? Because oftentimes you see like global messaging diluting like cultural identity in different countries, or like big corporations pushing out promotions, right? That don't often resonate with the general public. But here at Belikin, we keep the public in mind and we keep community in mind, because Belikin is a brand built on legacy and heritage, right? So everything we do, we keep the community, we keep Belize in mind. And this is just a fun way, right, by keeping those brand pillars alive, keeping that mission alive. Right, so here at Belikin, everything we do, we think about the public, we think about the community. Hence, the We're Part to Live campaign.
And talk about and speaking about thinking about the community, how do you take this from your location to the road? How do you take it to communities? Are there events designed for communities to feel the love and participate in this campaign?
Yeah, so the top four, when we voted a couple months ago, the top 4 that won, we're doing like a activation event, like a launch party basically. Last weekend we did the brewery, which was in Ladyville, the home of Belikin. We also did San Ignacio, Cayo, right? This weekend is Orange Walk and Dangria. So those are the top 4, but we're not going to limit it to one of those. As you guys know, we have the Belikin Bronco. We're not going to say the locations, but the Belikin Bronco will be popping up for the next 2 months in different communities, giving away We're Part to Live beer, giving away some merch, you know, just trying to let people open the cup, see the punch in the alphanumeric code and see what they win, right? So it's going to be a countrywide thing in terms of the Bronco, visiting these communities. And to your first point that you had asked, Martin, right? It's highlighting the communities that normally doesn't get that, you know, highlight, or, you know, and it's an educational factor too, because a lot of people might not know what is Pachacan.
It starts a conversation.
Right, it starts a conversation.
Some of these
right?
villages have some interesting names.
For sure.
And,
Black Manatee, you know, double head cabbage.
Tell me
Like,
Black Manatee.
yeah, exactly.
Was there a double head cabbage? You know?
Things like that. And so what happens at these activation events? Do you all give away stuff?
Belikin is always giving away something, right? So I'm always giving back. So we have the labels. You could buy a bottle. We have our people on site, the ambassadors, who are scanning, because when you win, you automatically get a QR code.
Yeah.
So when you get that QR code, you could go to either one of our ambassadors or to the depots. We have people there that scans the code and it tells you automatically what you win. Yeah. So it's a whole entire experience, right?
Some giveaways this morning. We have some things to give away. And do we have some questions for our chat?
Yes, we do.
So you guys on our Facebook page, stay locked in. We have some questions for you, and you can answer these questions on our Facebook page. I wanted to give it this morning.
A free case of Belikin beer with We're Part to Live labels.
What, free case?
Yes.
A full case?
Full case. So we have 4 full cases.
We have 4 cases this morning.
Yes.
Whoa!
Okay, so
All right.
that's
I
good.
see Ras Welch commenting here saying, good morning. So how can you win if you're living in Los Lagos? Ras Welch, you could win right now.
Yeah.
Just pay attention.
Yes, you just have to comment on just comment under the Facebook, right? All right, so you all have the question.
Yes, I have the question.
All right, so take with time, slowly with each question, but then go through all 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first question is, how many different labels are there? So how many different labels are we featuring in the We're Part to Live campaign?
Okay, so how many different labels are we featuring? And that could also read how many different communities, right?
How many different communities
are featured
yes,
on the
on the-
labels and We're Part to Live labels. All right, so now question number 1, first person will answer that. And if you win one time, no come here to try win that second time.
Get
right? Because that's
greedy.
not how it works.
Yeah.
One case enough for you.
They must have like Sabrina. One case for display, one case
Yes,
open.
ma'am.
Ah,
All
we
right.
know exactly
We're gonna
this
put it like
one.
Alex.
So how many different labels are there, right, being displayed? First person answer that, you win a case. Go ahead.
Second question, where do you find the alphanumeric code to participate in the...
We did
We
mention
talk about that
as well.
a lot.
All
Where
right.
do you find the alphanumeric? I don't make that big word.
We got a
there,
first
right?
answer
Just
here.
alphanumeric code really mean just one number somewhere, right?
We got a first answer. Janelle Trujeke said 88. That is correct.
That is correct.
So you
win
won
your
yourself a case of Belikin Bear with
Congrats.
exclusive What Part You Live labels
Big up
attached
you.
to it.
All right, so the second question we asked was, where do you find the alphanumeric code? Anybody answer that yet?
Not
Nobody
yet.
answer that yet.
So where do you find the code?
So question 3, name 2 prizes you could win from the promotion.
Yes. I don't know that we listed any of them.
Yes,
We did?
He did. He
Yeah,
mentioned
did.
them.
Okay, so I forget. So I know I lose that one.
I would recommend go back.
And some of them are right on the table.
Some of them
as-
we showed right under. Okay, we have Manuela Cox saying under the cover of the bottle.
Correct.
That is
Where
correct.
do you see Manuela? But before Manuela, there's some.
Oh, Janelle, the same person that won. You can't
Okay,
win
you
again,
can't win
Janelle.
again, Janelle.
So it would be Manuela Cox.
Okay, Manuela Cock.
All right, you won yourself a case of Belikin Wapat Your Live bottle.
Nice. man.
Now the other question was list 2 of the prizes.
You can win.
And remember, there's up to 20,000 prizes
Correct.
as well that will be given away. But list 2, we highlighted some of them. Some are also on the table. All right, just giving you guys some, you know.
Okay.
All right.
So
Janelle again answered, but we cannot give
Janelle.
that to you. We also can't give Manuela. So Marsha Gill said Yeti and Bear. Is that correct?
Correct.
Wow.
You won a
Marsha?
case of Bear. Now one more case to go, right?
more case
What's
to
the final
go.
question?
So this one might be hard because
Uh-huh.
I feel like I mentioned it, but very briefly. But I'm going to ask
and
it.
you mentioned at least 1 or 2. Yes.
Yeah,
but go
so
ahead.
the last question is, where can you redeem prizes?
Where can you redeem prizes?
So I mentioned that, but it was
Yeah.
very brief.
No, I
Yeah, so-
remember it.
Shucks, I don't remember.
Yeah, because I was going to ask and then you said it. I was like,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, you said go here. And well, you said it in conversation when you said at the events you could go to any one of our ambassadors. But then he also mentioned after that there's a place you can go
Okay.
to also redeem prizes.
I might know, but also I might not. All right, guys, you also get an opportunity to answer that. Someone said all district outlets. Is that correct?
What depends what they mean by district
Okay,
outlets.
so we need more clarity,
You need a
Raswell.
little bit more clarity for that.
Yeah.
All right. Any other tries? Any other attempts? Now the question
Just for
again
Rashwell,
is:
I'm really depend for
Where can
Rashwell
you
for win
where can
something.
you redeem your prizes?
where
So-
can you redeem your prizes? Michelle said, "Tell me where, pal. My dad would love a case."
I would have tell you, Michelle, but then I cheat at that point, right? So send me a little message, man. I might send you a message. All right, so perhaps we wait when we come off, and if somebody gets that answer, then we'll give them that prize.
All right. Well, in the meantime, as we wind things down, you guys mentioned that you have some activation events that will be held. Remind us again of the dates that people can attend these events.
Okay, so we have this Saturday in Orange Walk at High Five, and then we have on Sunday Island Breeze in Dangria.
Alrighty.
Both these events begin at 7 p.m. I believe.
And for people wondering, are the prices of these bears the same?
The same. It's the exact same, right?
All right.
So the prices that you would typically buy a Belikin for, those will be the prices that will remain, right?
Yeah.
So
No make nobody cough.
Yeah.
You have a boom, girl, check.
Yeah.
Balance today, so deal
50 extra.
Deal today.
Okay, here's some other tries. All Belikin outlets in each district. Someone said Bowen and Bowen. Michelle said any Bowen and Bowen distributor or branch. Distributors, distribution centers. We get all the same.
Yeah. So basically that could work, right? So
distribution could work?
Yeah, well, it's our depots, right? Or our retail centers, right?
Yes.
So, for example, the one in Belize City on Slaughterhouse Road, you can go there.
So you'll take distributors, just
yeah, that could work.
All right.
Yeah.
So
who said distributor?
It's not necessarily a distributor.
It might be Michelle.
It's Michelle.
Michelle said any Bowen and Bowen distributor or branch.
Yeah,
it could work.
Let's clarify the term.
So we refer to them as Bowen and Bowen depots, right? So the depots we store and we sell. We also there's a retail center attached to those depots.
So outlets wouldn't have worked.
But
because when
I know what you meant.
Yes.
Yeah, we know
We
what
can't
you
know
mean.
how Crawford start.
Yeah.
We take one thing and we make it we own and we do it the own.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
Well,
fine.
Michelle, you get a case for your pa.
And a name cheat for you.
All right, good thing. All right, well,
Excellent.
guys, thank you so much for joining us. This is an exciting campaign. I think it really adds to the ownership and the identity that Belize has taken on when it comes to Belikin. And we encourage, campaigns like this, and we wish you guys all the best as you continue on.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having us. Just to mention one more time, the bottles will be available in the market this week, right? So the rollout is currently happening by next week. So all stores, we're expecting a full transition, right? So the platform is live. You could participate. You could buy your bottles. You could collect. You could go into the WhatsApp, enter a code, and win. Redemption starts on Fridays at the depots. So we're giving people the entire week to stock up on their bottles, enter the code, just to give the promotion some time to breathe. And then on Friday, that's when the redemption starts. So you could go to the depots, then earn nearby stores, and redeem prizes. And of course, online, we have on the Belikin Facebook and Instagram page, we have all the information about the promotion. We have how it works, we have the prizes you could win, we have information about the activations, and we have the exact redemption schedule. So if you want to redeem a prize and you're not sure where to go or when, on our Facebook page, you'll find the exact redemption schedule along with the addresses of every redemption center, all the addresses for the depots, the neighbor's location, their opening hours, right? So people could just go online if you're unsure about any information or you need to find more information, or comment on one of our posts and we'll answer. Send us a DM and we'll respond.
Excellent. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you guys all the best.
Thank you. Of course, thank you so much.
Alrighty, we take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. We have more for you. When we come back, we'll be highlighting the Bliss's Summer Arts program.
The next station is not just a place, it's the vacation capital of the world. Mexican Caribbean, the vacation capital.
Money travels fast, so make sure you check it before you spend it. Here are 4 easy ways to know your money is real. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Look closely at your note by holding it to the light to see the watermark and the note value. Notice how the see-through image completes itself perfectly. Feel for authenticity. Run your fingers over the raised portrait and the bars on the edges. 1 bar for the $2 and up to 6 bars for the $100. Tilt the note to see the hidden value appear. Look for the moving images on the security thread and holographic shimmer on higher denominations. Check closely. Use UV light or a magnifying glass to find hidden images and microtext. Remember, handling counterfeit money is illegal. If you spot a fake, report it to the police immediately. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Know your money. Check it before you spend it. A message from the Central Bank of Belize.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad. In the month of June, visit a Benny's store near you and get store-wide discounts on select items such as Milwaukee and Axie power tools, Charbroil barbecue grills, car care products, Karcher pressure washers, Sankey smart TVs, gym equipment, and much, much more. Make dad happy with popping deals for dad in June, only at Benny's.
If you're into news production, if you've got a sharp eye for what audiences care about, think quickly on your feet, and you're a strong writer, this could be your way into digital media. Greater Belize Media is looking for a digital associate. It's an entry-level, full-time position and your chance to get hands-on experience in journalism and digital storytelling. Bring the energy, the curiosity, and the willingness to learn and work flexible shifts in a fast-paced media environment. Apply now by sending your CV and cover letter to gbtv@btl.net by July 1st, 2026.
He skipped nights out, said maybe next time too often. Ramen became a lifestyle, all for this moment, his first car. Protect what you've worked for with RF&G Motor Insurance.
Ever had your card declined? Now it doesn't have to be. Introducing partial authorization. If the card doesn't cover the full amount, it notifies you what's available. You can accept the partial payment and pay the missing balance with a credit card or cash. No decline. Get what you came for. Partial authorization now available. Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Our final conversation, but certainly not the least. Guys, it's summertime, and I know that a lot of parents right now, they're trying to figure out where the kids are going, you know, how we're going to fill their time and make sure that it's meaningful time. Well, I think we cannot forget to mention that the Bliss always has its doors open, but especially around summertime, providing activities for the arts for children. And so joining us this morning to talk a bit about their summer programs, we have here with us Ms. Kim Vasquez, Director of ICA. Also here with us, Chelsea Lisby, Program Officer, also representing ICA. Ladies, welcome back. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good to be back.
Yes, it's good to be back. I know that the Bliss always does it big around the summertime. The kids are rushing to try to sign up and get themselves in these different activities. I remember last year feeling really left out that I was not able to get my nieces involved in a program and it was too late. But now I have enough time.
You barely have enough time.
Almost. Well, we'll find out after this. What's in store for the kids this summer?
Oh, we have activities at the Bliss, of course, and we also have a couple partner programs outside of the Bliss.
Okay.
And then, of course, our colleagues over at the Museum of Belize and Houses of Culture, they will also have a rollout Of course, ICA is very much focused on the creative arts, on the literary arts. They do a little bit more because they will do science and tech and insects and all of those things as well. So I'm sure you can look forward to them as well, right? So when you're done with ICA, you could go straight into the Museum of Belize. But yeah, Chelsea and I are here because we have theater at the Bliss, and that's dance, music, and drama. So it's not just acting. We also have our Summer Steel program. That's another classic for us. We do that every year. And we have visual arts, but it's all filled up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it got filled up over the weekend, but nevertheless, we want to big up our facilitator, that's Nello Player.
Yes.
Who will be teaching visual art there. And the cool thing about that visual art camp is that the participants, they help to make sometimes the backdrop and the props and everything for the theater arts camp. So they get all
I like that
linked.
it's connected.
They're
but
connected.
I'm also, I'm having a bit of an aha moment here because I've never associated Nello Player with visual artistry.
Yes.
I know him for music.
He's also a muralist. He's a fantastic muralist.
I might be living under a rock.
He has taught art with us at ICA. This is not his first time partnering with us, but he's also a very patient. He's really good with kids. He's a great
I could see that.
visual art teacher, and kids normally enjoy interacting with him, so we're really pleased to have him on board this year.
All right. Well, I'm so sorry to you folks who wanted to jump in the visual arts program. It's completely filled, but there's still more available.
Yes.
We have the theater camp and the Summer Steel.
And they have a little bit of spaces.
Okay.
And I know Chelsea is excited to tell you all about the
Tell me,
theater.
Chelsea, what's going on over there?
So this year's theater camp, we're doing the Drums of Sibun.
Ooh.
Yes. So
What is that? Drums of Sibun.
it's a little bit of our history, our Belizean history, through the slavery times.
Okay.
So that's what we're featuring this year with a twist. You know, we incorporate music, dance, and the drama there.
So there's an element of storytelling that will be involved.
There is
It
a
sounds
play.
like these
There
kids
is a play.
will be learning about history as well.
They made me dust off one of my old scripts. From my prior years.
Yes.
And so the Drums of Sibun is actually a play, and it's inspired by actual things that happened in a period in Belizean history, and so it's going to be introducing history. We're going to touch the topic of enslavement again, you know, and also culture, of course, Belizean culture coming out in the storyline as well. But that's the cool thing about that camp, because I think they get to work in an ensemble manner with the dance facilitator, with the drama facilitator. They do a little bit of singing. It's largely acting, but it's also a little bit of dance, a little bit of singing, so almost musical theater.
Yeah. What I really love about these programs, specifically the theater portion and even music, is the opportunity for these kids to, one, mingle with each other, but also build their confidence, right? It's the expression and the creativity involved there that I think if you're a little bit more on the shy side, this might allow you to break into, you know, exploring your confidence in other ways. Talk about the different experiences that these children will have and the opportunity to interact with each other while learning even Belizean history, and then we can move into the Summer Steel program.
So we really wanted to go back to foundation with this camp. It's always storytelling based. This year we decided to go a play, which is different. I mean, for us, it's different than storytelling. Story theater has a different format. So we actually brought together, and the wonderful thing is the team. Chelsea has been on the road in May with Festival of Arts and working with the adjudicators, and those adjudicators are actually part of the Summer Arts Immersive team. And so they actually, to prepare for this, we sat down in a session to kind of look at the script, do a little bit of preparation. Because if we're going to do this, then we only have 3 weeks, and they will put off that recital. They will perform that play. We've done this play before. I think we did it in 2019. And so, but you know, we refreshen it, we revamp it, and so we're ready to go. We have just a few spaces left. And so if you want to sign up today, tomorrow, the
Yeah.
latest. We're here because this is the last call.
Last call, guys.
And I think the other thing I can say about the Theatre Arts Camp is that it has 2 age groups. We
Okay.
have 5 to 8, and then we have 9 to 13.
Okay.
So, and we try to really we maintain a structure. That one has a younger age group from the age of 5, and we try to maintain that younger age group and that structure, because many parents would tell us over the years that they really appreciate for the ones that will be transitioning from preschool to primary school over the summer. This is a way for them to experience that structure. So they have break time, they have circle time in the morning. Before they leave at 11:45, we do a little wrap-up session. They have homework because they have to learn that. They have to learn their lines.
Yes, all right.
But you know, theater has so many great benefits. You know, concentration, discipline, teamwork, team building, confidence. So you know, it's something whereby we also just love having that energy and feeling the bliss transform around this time of year.
Absolutely. And then we have something for the music lovers as well. Steel pan is available. I imagine also limited space as well. What can kids get involved there and learn, and what's the age range?
The age range for this is 8 to 13 years. When we do the steel pan program at the Bliss, it's a mix of practical and theory. And it also ends with a showcase, like a small showcase that we invite the parents, the family, anyone can come and see it at the end of the program.
Okay, and it's from 8 to 13, as you also said. What's the time frame for each of these summer programs?
That's the cool thing as well. So the theater art takes up the entire morning. That's 8:30 to 11:45, because as I said, that one has a structure where they rotate. The 2 age groups are rotating across the different disciplines. And then in the afternoon, if you decide for the ones that are 8 and up to stay, they can come back, and they can select between visual art clothes, sorry, but you can do steel pan. So steel pan is in the afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Yes, 1 to 3 p.m.
Yes.
You know what I really like about the setup here? This gives an opportunity for kids to have full days. Yes. You know, so the parents, they could drop them off. Maybe can they stay there during lunch with their lunch?
They can. They could bring their lunch. You could come drop their lunch for them. Miss Cynthia will be there. She morphs from into security into warden mode.
Wow.
So they're safe and secure. You don't have to worry.
Yes.
And we have our facilitators as well as our helpers. We have our volunteer helpers as well, supporting the camp.
This is excellent. Your kids could be completely occupied for the better part of 2 weeks. From 3 weeks from the start in the morning, 8:30 until 3 p.m.
Yes.
They want to knock out this sleep
That's
hard by
another
evening
That's
time.
another thing we really, again, when we came back with the summer arts immersive concept, we really wanted to give something that was expanded.
Yeah.
And so it's a full 3 weeks, and this allows them to really get their feet wet, to try dance, to try music. And then maybe when school open, you might say, my child really like this steel pan thing. Well, we could connect you with Pantempters Juniors, for example, and you can go join that program, or you may want to join one of the dance programs that are housed at the Bliss as well. So this is a way for them to really experience something meaningful, and it's learning that it's fun, definitely fun, but they can build on it.
Yeah, and it's all for a very small fee of $30. $30 for what? The week or the full 3 weeks? What are we paying here?
3 weeks.
For the full $10 a week, really. You cannot beat that anywhere. These kids will be occupied. Of course, that's $30 per program.
Yes.
And so if you have a child taking part in multiple, obviously the price will increase. But this is $30 if you're 5 years old or if you're 13 years old. Yes. This is excellent, ladies. I can imagine families must have been trying to book their spaces many days before, weeks before even. But for the spaces that are still available, how can they book their spaces for their children?
Well, Chelsea can tell you how you can do that.
Right on our Facebook page, if you go on our Facebook page, the Institute of Creative Arts, we have the post up with all the Google Form links.
Excellent.
If you're not able to do that, you could just give me a call at 227-2110 at the Bliss, and I will assist you with that. You can also come into the Bliss and sign up.
Awesome. Well, ladies, I hope we covered everything. It sounds like it's going to be quite a busy summer over at the Bliss, but definitely a meaningful one, and I'm excited for the kids that will be involved as well. Well, we do have to close things off at this time. It has been a wonderful morning, and I definitely have to say thank you to all of our guests who joined us and you guys for locking in with us. It is June 23rd, and I have a birthday shout out that I would like to give. We have a very special birthday shout out. Happy 40th birthday to Jahid Flash Smith. Oh, I know Jahid. Jahid, you don't know Flash? Well, anyways, that's another thing. And also, happy 85th birthday to Shirley Ferguson. Happy birthday to you, Miss Shirley, as well. For questions regarding the giveaways, I know a lot of people in the comment section were asking how they can pick up their cases of Belikin. You guys can pick it up right here at our office on Coney Drive. Definitely, please do that before 3 p.m. today, because we don't want to have to open up the bottles now with self and check another crown if you guys take too long to do that. But you can stop for your cases as well. And if you have any question, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oie@greaterbelize.com. You can also catch us on our social media pages. We have Facebook, that's Open Your Eyes BZ. Instagram for behind the scenes content, that's OIE Belize. We also have TikTok. We do trends. We also go live sometimes. That's openyoureyes.bz. And then you can even call us or text us on our OIE phone number. That's 675-2555. But please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes and start your morning right. Until then, be sure to keep your eyes, your mind, and your hearts wide open. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Good morning, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.
Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.